All right, the 3x3x9. This is a cube made by Whit Eden. I just made a video showcasing the 3x3x7, and I mentioned in that video that I much prefer proportional puzzles, and I know it'll be pretty much impossible to have this thing proportional 3x3x9. But because of just how squished down the layers are, you'll see in this solve that once I get the 3x3 stage solved, I will fat finger it a lot, and I will move the wrong layer and have to move it back and stuff like that. So because of that, it's not quite as fun as the 3x3x7. I do still pick this one up a lot, and I do still enjoy solving it. But if the layers were just a little bit bigger, I'd probably prefer it that way. But still a pretty fun solve though, and the solve is of course exactly the same as the 3x3x7. You solve the 3x3 stage first, which in this case there is no shape shifting, so you don't have to worry about pieces sticking out and stuff like that. That's the only thing that's I think better about this one, is the 3x3 stage is a lot faster. As you can see here, there is center orientation on this puzzle, which is actually very interesting. I don't think that would be the same if this puzzle was proportional. I'm not exactly sure, however, but I do think that because of how the layers are squished down, that there was center orientation actually on the 3x3 stage. So now after you solve the 3x3, you just go the inside out, so the inner layer is solved already. Then you solve the layers above and below that, which I'm calling the second and third layer, and then above and below that, fourth and fifth layer, so on and so forth, until the whole thing is finished. And the difficulty of it is exactly the same as the 3x3x7. It's harder than anything that would take me about 3 minutes to solve, like a shape mod, but it's not too challenging to the point where I would just prefer not to scramble it. I will say it definitely does help that the turning quality is very good for it being a 3x3x9 and the layers being so squished down. I know that they've made 3x3x11s, and I think it even goes up to 3x3x15. And I don't know if you've seen any videos on that, but those do not turn good at all. So I'm really glad that this thing is such good quality. It makes the solve much more enjoyable despite going through so many layers, because if I were to go any higher than this, I think it would get a tiny bit repetitive, because you can imagine going from the inside out, the process is exactly the same the entire time, so it's just over and over and over again. The 3x3x9, though, I do think is just right, and I think it's just small enough to the point where I still much enjoy the solve. So yeah, I think that's it. I appreciate you all for watching.